Well, hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Shy-Bivia, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, thanks for stopping by and hitting that play button. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit as to how I was able to purchase my first home at 23. So keep watching. So a quick backstory. So at 18 years old, I was basically forced to move out. Okay, we won't get into that, real deep or anything like that. But I was forced to move out. No, I was not pregnant. No, I was not a partier, going out, doing anything crazy. I had just moved here, by the way, to the U.S. And in a few months, I was kind of forced to move out, but we're not gonna get into that. So, everybody, we go through our things in life and all of that. That was my season. But in all honesty, I believe that helped me to be the person that I am today. I feel like that helped me to really spread my wings and really just work hard and, just keep my head on my shoulders and just keep focused and all of that. So in all honesty, during that time period, that transition and everything was really hard. But at the end of the day, I was at so much peace. Then strangely, that's when a lot of doors, started opening, and I just felt like I had this freedom to just do and pursue whatever I wanted to do. That's my backstory. I started working in fast food. I started applying with financial institutions, and I was doubting myself because I'm like, I don't even have a degree yet. Like, who's gonna hire me, in their bank or their credit union or whosoever, But God was like, listen, I got you. You have favor. Go ahead and submit all those applications. And I was 18 years old, 18, 19, I believe by that time. I was living in, the first place I moved out to was in Princeton. I was sharing a house, but y'all, I was blessed. Okay, I have to say that I was blessed because I was living in this big nice house in Princeton, New Jersey, paying like $400 or $500 a month. I feel like I had my own bathroom. I think it was shared with somebody else, but they weren't really there. And my landlord, she traveled a lot for work, so she was never there. So I was in this big house by myself, paying $400. I didn't have to buy a bed or anything like that because the house, it came furnished, so it was a little twin bed and whatever, and that's all I needed. I was happy. Okay, the only thing though, that bus stop was 16 minutes walk, okay, in Princeton. If Montgomery, Princeton area, if you don't have a car, it's just kind of it's rough. So imagine me in the snow, in the cold, having to walk 16 minutes just to catch a bus. So if I'm 2 minutes late, okay, leaving my house, I'm missing that bus. Okay, those are some interesting times. And so I started applying, and then I called back from a financial institution, and of all the financial institutions that I applied to, I am really happy and grateful that I got accepted with that institution at the time, because I had good success there. I worked with some good people, and I had 4 promotions in 4 years or something like that I was there. So I grew a lot, and working there really opened my eyes to so many different things. There's a lot of things about finances that I had no idea about. But working, with that financial institution, I was able to learn so much at 19 years old, 20, 21. By 21, 22, I was doing loans and stuff like that, and doing loan closings and stuff like that. So I kind of learned a lot on the back end of things. In regards to mortgages, first time mortgages and stuff like that, I did not do those per se. I did just auto loans, home equity lines of credit and stuff like that. And so I was able to learn a little bit on the back end about those things, which was good. So that kind of worked to my advantage in a sense, where I knew kind of what companies were looking for in regards to your debt ratio and stuff like that. So that worked to my advantage. Now, by this time, I think I had moved from Princeton, and I was living with another roommate closer to my job. I lived there for about 2-3 years with my roommate. That was a great experience because she was the owner of the home. She was young. And so, you know, we had a good relationship and everything. So that worked out great. I had, you know, my own bathroom and everything, two like almost walk-in size closets, furnished and everything. I'm telling you, I always end up getting favor, okay? Like wherever I go, I believe that I get favor. And so I had to buy absolutely nothing. It had a TV, it was furnished, you know, shout out to, you know, my landlord, you know yourself if you're watching this video. So I was young, you know, trying to make things happen and stuff like that. I didn't have a car yet. When I moved there, I didn't have a car yet. And so I worked my butt off at that financial institution and I saved my money. I was saving every extra penny that I could make, okay? And at the time, I was also going to school part-time. And so I saved every extra little penny that I had, and I was able to purchase my first car, which was very much a blessing because you know how it is when you have to hitch ride, okay? Just like do some grocery shopping and stuff like that. And at that time, I don't think I knew anything about like Uber and Lyft. No, I didn't know anything about Uber and Lyft and stuff like that. So whenever I had to go somewhere, it was either a bus or like a friend, you know, was gonna take me. That's all I knew at the time. Or like the taxi service. I think one time I tried taxi service, never again. It was so expensive. But anyway, Uber and Lyft probably was around that time, but I didn't know about it. And you know, I had just come here like a couple years before that. So but anyway, I was able to purchase my car, and that was a blessing. Now, I lived with that roommate for about 3 years, and then I decided, you know what? I want my own space. Like, I feel like, you know, I'm getting into adulthood and everything. You know, this was at like 22, 23. I was like, I feel like I want my own space. So if I have people over and stuff like that, I don't feel like, you know, I'm in anybody's way. So I decided to find an apartment that was close by. And honestly, you guys, looking back, you know, I really wish that I had stayed with my roommate like a year longer and then go straight into buying a house. But this is what I did. I decided that I want an apartment so bad to move out, right? And that's fine. Nothing is wrong with that. But I feel like I tied myself up a little bit more than I needed to at that time. So anyway, I moved out, found a cute apartment. It was really nice and everything. And I felt like, you know, I felt very even more independent, you know, like I'm doing things for myself and everything like that. And it was great. So before this, when I moved with my roommate, I was absolutely not ready to purchase a house. I felt like, you know, I needed to build more credit. I needed to, you know, have money saved and all that. So I was not ready. But while working for that financial institution, and after like, you know, 2 to 3 years of living with, you know, my second roommate, I was like, okay, I was more financially stable. Let's say that I was more financially stable to be able to buy a house. So when my lease was coming up, I was like, do I want to renew my lease or do I want to just buy a house? So honestly, y'all, I'll be really honest, like buying a house was one of the most like spontaneous things that I did. It was really spontaneous. Like I did not put a lot of thought into it. I did not think too much into it. I did not spend a year or spend months planning it out or whatever. I was literally like, look, okay, instead of renewing my lease and paying this much money and whatever, I have good credit now because I had well over like 700 or something, and I had some money saved. But in addition to that, having some money saved, I had just gotten back my tax return, and I was like, look, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Instead of renewing my lease and paying money, just giving my money away to an apartment, why not invest in a house for myself, you know? So I put that money aside, my tax return. I'm telling you, you guys, it is tax time, but it is March, okay? It is March. It is that time to file your taxes and stuff like that. You know, everybody has their own vice and everything like that. You know, I know for me, I like to travel. That's a lot of where I spend like my extra money, you know, traveling. I love experiences and stuff like that. So I do travel a lot and stuff like that. However, I would strongly advise you, especially when you're young, don't just spend all your extra money on stuff that is not gonna matter in like a couple weeks or 2-3 months, or maybe even 2 to 3 years. That's okay. I believe in spending money on yourself, especially when you work really hard. I do not believe in just working hard and not enjoying a life as well. And so that's one of the reasons why I travel a lot. I like to, I like experiences and stuff like that, but I also believe in putting money aside. And if you're young, or even if you're not young and you're out there, I say, put money aside. It's tax season. When you get your money for your taxes, don't automatically just splurge it, okay? Buy a new laptop just because, or buy a new phone just because. If you don't need it, you don't need it. You can use that money to invest in other things that will make you even more money, okay? That will matter years from now. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. What I decided to do when I got my tax return was put that money aside as a down payment on my house, because I'm like, it doesn't make no sense renewing my lease when I can be a homeowner. I know I was just 23, and I honestly didn't really feel like I was ready or anything like that. And I was talking myself out of it, because I'm like, I'm not even married yet. I'm not even all of this. So why am I going to buy a house? But then I was like, look, I don't need to wait until I'm married to have something for myself, to have assets for myself, So if you're thinking like that, don't think like that, okay? So I decided to put my tax return aside, okay? And for those of you who do not know, one of the things as well, I did a very in-depth video, by the way, before I go any further, a very in-depth video in regards to how you can purchase your first home, okay? I'll link it in the description below. I also wrote a very detailed blog on this, step by step, as to how you can purchase your first home. So if you're looking to purchase your first home, or if you're renting right now, and even if you are not really thinking about purchasing your first home, really, definitely still check that out, because it may give you a different perspective and it will change your mindset on things, okay? But anyway, for those of you who don't know, there are different ways that you can, purchase a home or put money down on a home. So you have, for an FHA loan, the minimum that's really required to put down on a home is 3.5%. Now, the difference with putting 3.5% and at least 20% is that when you put down 20%, you aren't charged any like private mortgage insurance, right? They call it PMI. It all depends on the amount of the mortgage. It can range anywhere between, let's say, maybe $60-$70 to as high as, I don't know, maybe $200-$300. Again, it all depends on the amount of the mortgage, and that will be added per month, and I believe that stays on for at least 5 years or something like that, but I believe it goes away like after 5 years. But yes, of course, buying a house is not just about the deposit and all of that. If you want to get financed, obviously you have to have some type of good credit or something. So fortunately for me at the time at 23, I had pretty decent credit. I was paying my bills on time and all of that. I had trade lines, I had a car, I had credit cards that I was paying on time and all of that. So fortunately I had a great credit. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and apply to see if I can get pre-approved. And fortunately I was pre-approved. And so right after that, because that's pretty much your first process, you want to get pre-approved before you even start contacting a realtor, because you want to know how much, what's the max you can get pre-approved for, because the realtor, they're not going to want to waste their time anyway to show you homes that you're not even approved. That's wasting their time and it's honestly also wasting your time, and you're saving yourself disappointment because you don't want to go looking for homes that's like 300,000, but the max you're eligible for is like 200,000. So that's why you want to get pre-approved first, and then you start working with a realtor, start looking for homes. Now, I have to say though, also, don't go crazy. And because you're approved for, let's say, 400,000 or 300,000 or whatever, to definitely go looking for homes that's like the max. Try to go lower. I mean, if you are able to try to look lower, so that gives you some leeway, and you're able to free up some of your finances, because you don't want to be tied into a debt. Yes, it's a good debt, but you don't want to be tied into it so much that you don't have extra money for the other things that you enjoy in life. So anyway, so after I was approved, I started looking for homes. I started looking for a realtor. I started working with a couple of realtors, but then it was just like, nope, sorry. I mean, we weren't connecting, having a realtor, like working with a realtor is kind of like dating. You can break up with them, at any time, as long as you don't like sign any like in-depth like contract. You haven't gone that far, anything like that. If you start working with a realtor, you don't think it's gonna work out, you can just break up with them. Don't feel any kind of way about it. It's okay. Move on to the next one. So yeah, I worked with a couple that wasn't working out, but fortunately I was able to find my homegirl Mary. Shout out to Mary. She's definitely a real one. She aggressively helped me, to find a home. We were looking at all these different houses and stuff like that. Now, I have to say, like, when I was looking, so I was looking like way south from where I was currently living, and that was because like the taxes were cheaper. In the state of New Jersey, taxes are no joke, okay? And at 23 years old, single income, like, I'm not trying to be tied up paying taxes alone, so I moved south. I decided to go south because the taxes are less, okay? And down this side, while I was looking and doing my research, you can get a lot more for your money down this side. I looked at so many different houses. Oh my gosh, I try to forget about that house because my heart was like so broken, okay, because I almost closed on a house. I think I even got the inspectors out there to inspect the property. I think I paid for something, appraisal or something like that. And see, these are some of the cons with home buying. It can be very tedious. You may think that you're about to close, and things just don't work out. Something comes up and it needs to be fixed or whatever. Just different things can happen. So, it is a process. Now, I believe I started this process in February, March. And to fast forward a little bit, I was able to close in May. So I literally in February decided, okay, I'm just gonna buy a house instead of renewing my lease in April. I'm just gonna buy a house. So that was like one of the most spontaneous things that I did during that time. But honestly, I'm happy that I did. And so that was my process from like February to May. So February, March, April, May. So like 3 months it took to like really close. And I'll be honest, not all situations are like that. So don't go into it thinking, oh, I can start looking now and then close in like 3 months. It can take as long as like 6 months. For some people, it depends on how specific you are, on the type of house and everything that you want. It can take maybe 6 months to even find a house. I know some people who have said it took them like a year to even find the house that they want. So everybody's situation is different. So don't go into it with high expectations. Definitely go into it, thinking the worst, okay? Because the worst can happen. All right. So I almost got that house. I thought I was going to get it. It ended up didn't happen. And, I ended up with, this baby here, my baby. I consider it my baby because, it's my first baby. And so I'm happy that I got this. The other house did not have a garage or anything like that. And, the situation was a little bit awkward. Like the master bedroom was more like in a loft and it didn't have like a door connected, but it was gorgeous though. It had like highlights and you were able to look over into the living room and all of that. But like the bathroom downstairs, you can walk through like the other room to go into it, and like you had to walk through the back room to go to get to the backyard. So it was kind of like a weird setup, but I liked it. It was cute, it was charming, and I felt like it was me. But I guess God was like, no, that's not for you. Now with this home, it's a little bit bigger. This home is not it's not a big house or anything like that. It's a small home, but it's very cozy. And for me, I was like, that's all I need as a single woman. It's my first home. It's my starter home. I still don't expect to stay in this home forever. This home eventually will be like an investment home, either rent it out or do short-term rentals with it or whatever. But I have options, okay? And so that's the benefit of being a homeowner, is that you have options to do whatever it is that you want to do, okay? So I'm happy that I got this house because the backyard is a lot bigger. I have a garage. The arrangement makes a lot more sense, okay? It's more practical. So sometimes things that don't work out, it's because there's something better out there for you. That period of time, I think something happened also with this house. While I was trying to close, there was some delay with something, and I was moving out because my lease ended in April, you guys. So I was about to close, but something happened, so I had to put my stuff in a storage. And I think I was staying at like a hotel for a couple of days. I had stuff in my car. It was just a hot mess, you guys. It was a hot mess. I had all my stuff like in garbage bags in my car, and then stuff out of storage, and I had to wait. So that transition period was kind of tough. And you may find that, you may find that may happen to you, or it may not. You may have a smoother transition. But for me, that was my personal experience. It was not as smooth. I found myself crying. Like my realtor called me about something, and I was just like crying. I was like, all I wanted to do was just close on this house. That's all I wanted to do. I was really like devastated. But then eventually things, worked out, and I was eventually able to close and move in. I mean, you may find some challenges along the way, but don't let that discourage you from doing it. Especially in the beginning, the mortgage company may ask you for these documents, and you're like, I could have sworn they asked me for these things already. I could have sworn I sent it to them. But that's just, it just comes with it, okay? And so don't get discouraged, especially too early. It's going to come with a lot of things. They're going to ask you for a whole bunch of different things that you're probably going to be annoyed with, but it's just a part of the process. So don't give up too easily. With buying a home, you may never have the perfect situation, okay? Situation may never be perfect. It definitely takes time. If you're in the season right now where you're just like building your credit, again, I wrote a blog in depth, and I did a video about, some of the ways that you can build credit, and, just those step by step as to how you can purchase your first home. So definitely check that out. Okay, so by the way, so when I purchased my home, I was 23. That was like 2 years ago. So, well, 3 years ago. I'm 26 now, and now I am actually married. And so now we're like, okay, when it's time to like expand and all of that, I definitely want a bigger space. So like this house is like perfect and ideal for, just like me and also a spouse. But when it's time to like expand, we definitely may want to like, move into something bigger. But again, this is definitely my investment. It's my baby. Lots of things that can be done with this house for like, revenue in regards to like passive income and stuff like that. I mean, it's a good area. The house it's a really cute home. I had to do absolutely nothing. That was the blessing about I did not have to paint anything, because when they redid this home, I think they probably flipped it or something. Everything was new. When after I bought the home, I put in like recessed lighting and stuff like that. But like, Everything was new, stainless appliance, bathroom was redone, the roof brand new, the heating system, all of that brand new. And you know, like when it comes down to like the roof, that's like one of the most expensive things. But this roof is gonna last like 20 years, you know, or so. So I don't have to worry about anything like that. And for me personally, that's what I wanted. I wanted something just moving ready. I didn't want to have to fix anything, do anything like that. I didn't want to, you know, sweat equity or anything like that in a home. I just kind of wanted to just move in and live my life. But everybody's different. You may want a home that you want to really be revamped to your liking, especially if you can get the home really, really cheap and then, you know, put a little bit of sweat equity and make the home, you know, into what you wanted it. But for me, especially as a single person, 23, I was just like, listen, I just want the house how I want it. I just want to move in and that's it. So I'm grateful for that. Like those things like definitely made a big difference. Like having everything new and, you know, polished, and especially those expensive things that I know I don't have to worry about in 5-10 years. You know, the roof wasn't new or anything like that. Maybe in 5-10 years I may have to like replace the roof, and that costs a lot of money. So those are some of the things you want to consider when purchasing a home. Think about if you're willing to put in sweat equity, or you just want something that's move-in ready. But for me, that's, you know, what I want. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, super long. I know I can get a little bit chatty, you know, I can talk a lot and all of that, but if there's anything that you guys want to know in regards to purchasing your first home, let me know in the comment below. I'm an open book. I'll definitely respond to your comment. If I see it, more than likely I will see it. Don't be afraid to leave me a comment below. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Okay, subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, more content like this, or even a business related, because I've been doing a lot of like business related content and stuff like that. So if you like this channel, you want to see more of that, you want to see more of me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so that way when I post a new video, you'll be the first to know. But again, it was your girl Shy-Bivia. It was an absolute pleasure. Let's go close on those homes together, and I'll see you guys later. Be blessed.